Hi everyone, and welcome to TWF. Uh, Hi everyone, and welcome to TWF Impact or Hit. I, Joey Styles, with Jonathan Coachman and with Aiden English. And today on Impact or Hit, we got a good show. I mean, yesterday we had a good show yesterday between, Tai Chi and Medusa, and Medusa knocked Tai Chi down yesterday on Dynamite or Might, and it didn't end very well for the Disney Marvel self, now did it? Joey Sal says Medusa prolonging her war with him. Well, yeah, that's true. Jonathan Coachman said Medusa did beat up Tai Chi yesterday on Dynamite or Might, but here today on Impact or Hit, will Tai Chi get even with the wrong that Medusa did to him? Jonathan Coachman says. I'll tell you one thing right now, Joey and Jonathan. I don't think Tai Chi is going to be getting in Medusa at all. Yeah, he may have beat Medusa yesterday, but Medusa had the last laugh on him, and I don't think he's going to get even with Medusa at all. Well, we're going to see about that, Joey Styles says. We're going to see if Tai Chi gets even with Medusa here today on Impact. Or Hit. So everyone wonders you're like, well, Medusa, why did you beat up Tai Chi yesterday on Dynamite or Might? Why did you do that to him for? And I'll tell you why I did it to him for. Because I can. And I got away with it. And sadly, Tai Chi, that Marvel Disney self, he didn't see it coming. I mean, if we had the way to play that film again while we were filming that film and get to the end of that film, you would see how I sent him flying. Man, wasn't that cool? Yeah, I don't really think there was anything cool about that at all, Joey Styles says. What Medusa did to Tai Chi yesterday on Dynamite or Might. No, I don't see nothing cool about that at all, Jonathan Coachman said. Medusa should be ashamed of herself and guilty for what she did. Well, Aiden English said Medusa doesn't have any guilt, doesn't have any shame for what she did. And now here come, and you know what? Tai Chi, if he knew what was good for him, he would keep away from Medusa. At least that's what I think, Aiden English says. Well, here is Daniel Bryan, the main overseer now. Alright, Medusa. I seen what you did yesterday to Tai Chi. How you threw him, off the board onto the floor. Yeah, that was so. I mean, that is shameful, in its own right. Oh, come on, Daniel Bryan. You're telling me you never did that in your free runs in WWE and your run in ROH, and your run in PWG, and your run in AEW, that you never did anything like that? Never threw folks off a board onto a floor? Come on, get over yourself. You know you did. And I thought it was cool. Well, you want to know what? Daniel Bryan says, I'm going to put my foot down because we had enough of wrestlers doing that. First, you had King Caesar doing it to Seth Rollins. Then, sadly, before that, you had John Cena doing it to King Kong. And now, Medusa, you're doing it to Tai Chi. Hey, Medusa says, I was doing that shit, earlier last year. Like, I was doing that last year, around the same time that King Caesar was doing it to Seth Rollins. And John Cena doing it to King Kong, well, that was just a late comer to that whole thing. well, you should be happy to know or glad to know is that Tai Chi's all right, and he's going to have another match with you, and it's going to happen right now. So Medusa, huh? You had the So Medusa, you thought it was so cool, to throw me off the board onto the floor, thinking it was so cool and everything. Well, how about I throw you off the board and off the floor, on the floor, and we'll see what happens. Hey, Tai Chi, at least there's two dolls of you. There's only one doll of me. Hey, you didn't seem to mind that when you threw me off the floor yesterday. You didn't seem to mind that at all, you know. So if I throw you off the floor, throw you off the board onto the floor today, that's going to be all fine to me, right? Yeah, bring a fight lord in the ring, Medusa says, and then we'll see what happens. Deaning, well, do you want to? Oh well, Tai Chi falling down. Made the Fight Lord fall down, and that's why I think the Fight Lord, Joey Styles said, should have some kind of doll stand. Medusa wanted to do that spin kick, but Tai Chi chopped and knocked her down. And now Tai Chi's going to make good on his threat to throw Medusa out of the ring, off the other ring, and onto the floor. Well, Jonathan Coachman says this is getting too crazy. We got two Tai Chi dolls. We have two Medusa dolls. They might not be the same one, but this one has them all This is crazy, Jonathan Coachman said. Tai Chi, I understand he's irked. He's angered at Medusa for doing this, but I don't think it's right. Hey, Aiden English says, Medusa hit Tai Chi in the back of the head with her snake tail, and Medusa smacked Tai Chi. Medusa did it again. Once again, Medusa threw Tai Chi out of the ring, off the board, onto the floor. Hey! And you wonder if Tai Chi is still alright. Yeah, his arms and legs are still together, his head's still on, he's alright, Joey Styles said. Well, Tai Chi, isn't going to be getting even on Medusa for any wrong she may have done to him, for any sin against him or any misdeed against him. And now Medusa knocked down Tai Chi again, and this time the Fight Lord got knocked down by mistake. Medusa just low blow Tai Chi, and the Fight Keeper didn't see it, Joey Styles says. That's sadly, the Fight Keeper was knocked down, so she didn't see it happen, Jonathan Coachman says. Well, that's true, Aiden English says. And Tai Chi is going to lose a Medusa here today on Impact, or hit 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner, Medusa. Well, Medusa has beat Tai Chi here today on Impact or Hit. Tai Chi, really thought that he would get even with Medusa. And at one time in his match, Joey Styles says, he truly thought that Tai Chi was going to be throwing Medusa out of the ring, off the board, and onto the floor. Well, that didn't happen, Jonathan Coachman says. It was Medusa who threw Tai Chi off the floor, out of the ring and onto the floor. And I think, sadly, he never did come back from that. Jonathan Coachman says, well, that need be true. He never did come back from any of that. And that may have gave Medusa the opening to beat him. Aiden English says, Medusa's got to be one of the greatest wrestlers, greatest fighters we ever had, to win a match by knocking someone out of the ring and onto the floor. That has to be something. I mean, if it was a Kingly Thunder or a fighting Kingly, then yeah, you would win. But I think that weakened Taichi down enough for Medusa to beat him. Hey, and let's not forget about the low blow Medusa got that no one knew about, Aiden English says. You know what, Aiden, you're right. Medusa did cheat. She did the low blow. And sadly, I don't think this wrong between Medusa and Taichi will ever be over, Joey Styles said. No, it's not, Jonathan Coachman says. And you really think Medusa's going to start throwing more folks out of the ring onto the floor? John Coachman said, I hope not, Joey Styles said. We'll take it away, Renee Young. Alright, thank you, Jonathan Coachman, and thank you, Joey Styles and Jonathan Coachman. I'm going to be talking with Medusa here today on Impact, her hit. Alright, Medusa, you started a war with Taichi yesterday. Taichi beat you, but now today, somehow, someway, you am up beating him. Oh, Renee Young. First off, Medusa says, I did beat Taichi. I did get even with Taichi. You saw how I threw him out of the ring and onto the floor. You saw how I did that low blow to him. Yeah, but I don't think the war between you and Taichi is over, Medusa. No, I don't. I believe Taichi is more stronger or more mighty than he looks. I believe at the end of the day, he will come back. And I will have to, and I will beat him again. Taichi, I don't know how strong he is, but he's one Disney self, formerly a Marvel self, who I beat. Well, you should know that, Medusa, some would see you as a Disney self too, since it was Disney that made the Percy Jackson films. Yeah, that need be true, but I'm a Hellenist folklore self, long before I became a Disney self. And anyway, we don't talk about anything that happened in that film. But Taichi, I beat him, and I didn't have to shift him to stone at all. Well, stand up. Stand up. Well, that's my talk with Medusa. Back to you, Joey Styles and Jonathan Coachman. Well, thank you Renee Young for talking with Medusa. Thank you Renee Young for talking with Medusa here today on Impact or Hit. And that's all the time we got it for Impact or Hit. I, Joey Styles, with Jonathan Coachman, 8 English. We hope you like Impact or Hit, and we'll see you tomorrow for Friday Night SmackDown.